All right, good day everyone, and once again we are back here again today. This is hair channel of our live stream by Beauty Online, our very virtual live event where we're going to cover about stories and we're going to share about what's the latest news in the hair industry. Now, for those who are new to our channel, my name is Eddie and I'll be your host today. Now, as we all know, the key factors for any business is to continue to stay ahead. And by staying ahead, you have to evolve, right? Whether you're in F&B line, you're in hotel line, insurance, media, bank, fashion, real estate, beauty and hair, which is why we are here today. You name it all, right? Now, the only way to keep evolving is to adapt. And you have to adapt really fast because things are changing rapidly right now. And it will then lead your business to go a long way. So today with us, sitting next to me, we have Mr. Vincent Ho, who is the founder of Hip Salons and the Group Managing Director of Kim Marie Group, sharing with us about how Hip Salons disrupt the beauty industry in Malaysia. Before that, let us say hi to Vincent.
Hi guys, thanks for having me, Eddie.
Yeah,
Pleasure
now
to be
it's
here.
my first time seeing you here. How does it feel to be sitting right here? Although it looks like your salon is behind you, but we're actually sitting in a studio right now.
Yeah, it is very interesting. First time I'm doing an interview in front of windscreen, and I say it's impressive setup.
Yeah, I've seen that you have done some Zoom interviews before, but not in a studio before, right?
No, never. Yeah.
So everything, happens for a reason. We are here to tell you a brand new innovation from Hip Salon. Now, can you tell us and share with us about Hip Salon, about the concept?
Okay, sure. Okay, Hip Salons is we use a what we call a sharing economy business model, where we share from physical assets such as facilities and infrastructure to intangible assets such as knowledge, creative ideas, as well as technology. In order for beauty professionals to kickstart their entrepreneurial journey with as little time, as little startup, and as quick as possible. So we, in a very simple terms, if I were to explain it in ways that everybody can understand, we work the biggest co-working space company in the world. Oh, you don't know? Okay.
I didn't know.
Okay, never mind. Guys, Google
the biggest
WeWork.
in the world.
The biggest in the world. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a startup that has its own story. But anyways, think of WeWork. So we are the beauty. Think of the WeWork for beauty professionals, for hairstylists, for beauticians, cosmetologists, any industry related to the beauty industry. So that's what we are co-sharing platform.
Okay, so when we talk about co-sharing and co-working space, I never thought about these how these can actually relate to salon. Now, which is why I find it very new. Now, how did the idea come about? How did you first start to come up with such an idea?
How do I create a business model where where I can empower the stylist to have more free time, to gain more independence, and make more money at the same time? So that was when the idea was first conceived. I must say that it's a little bit of ideas here and there that took me to finally execute the plan.
Yeah.
Upon realizing that this business model could actually disrupt my own industry, which is a traditional salon business model, I was also struggling with that a little bit, trying to think like, why do I want to do something that would actually disrupt or cannibalize my own business? And then I come to a point of realization where I realized that, hey, you know what? It doesn't disrupt my own business. What it disrupts is the way entrepreneurship is going to be from now on. Instead of the traditional way of taking out capital, assuming all the risks, and taking on the management roles. Now, all those kind of things are mitigated, and we assume the risk for you. Hip salons will be able to create provide the facilities and the back-end support, everything from A to Z, all the solutions, I would call it, for you to start your entrepreneurial journey. So going back to what I said about does not disrupt my own business, I just want to elaborate a little bit on that. because Kimmery has an academy, as you know,
Yeah.
and we're a chain of salons. So the career of a hairstylist from student, graduate, and then work as a junior hairstylist to senior hairstylist, all the way to salon manager, and that's the career path of a hairstylist. Beyond that, there's nothing more, unless they go out and become entrepreneur themselves.
Yeah.
So
that means after they graduated, they will be on their own.
Yeah, I mean, even if they work for Kimmery, at some point they will reach a career ceiling, so to speak, when they become a salon manager. Where do you go from there? So now with Hip Salons, we provide the platform to launch the next step of the career. So then they can go out and become entrepreneur. So now we empower them to become entrepreneur. So we are no longer afraid to lose them, because previously it's always like, okay, I have to keep my good stuff. I have to keep them. We have to find some ways to restrict their growth. I mean, not to say restrict their growth, but you don't want them to leave, so you incentivize them any which way you can, hoping they won't leave. But what I've learned over the years is that good people do leave, because if they are capable, they would want to. I mean, it's not about capability alone, but also it depends on where their level of contentment is. Some people are pretty happy with being stylist all their lives, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But for those who want to progress to the next stage of a career, to become an entrepreneur, instead of losing them to either their business partners or to competitors or to themselves, we now provide a platform for them. So Hip Salons will enable them to become the entrepreneur without all the associated risks, as I mentioned to you, without a huge capital outlay.
So when you are helping them into growing themselves into entrepreneur, you are also helping yourself as well to keep everyone together, so that you have a stronger foundation as well.
Yes. In some ways, I would look at Hip Salon as something that I'm giving back to the industry.
Yes.
Because yes, it's technically keeping them within the group, but the business model, I find at this stage especially, it benefits them a lot more than me. Because the whole idea about Hip Salons is about empowerment. Is about empowering them to move beyond what they want to achieve in a traditional salon business model.
Now, we're going to go into more details about all the interesting things about Hip Salon. But before that, I believe my co-host Lisa is ready to take us to a very special tour around Hip Salon itself, which is located in Menara Kent TTDI, right? Yes. So let us switch our screen all over there to Menara Kent TTDI at Hip Salon. Now the floor is all yours, Lisa.
Thank you, Eddie. Okay, right now we are outside Hip Salon. Come, let's follow me. Go up. Wow! This is a staircase, a wooden fitting design staircase with a downlight and quite high ceiling here. Come, let's go. Hi.
Okay, salon. Yes, please scan first for our SOP.
Okay.
This is my suggestor right here.
So right now I'm doing the SOP.
A little bit closer. That's right. Okay. Sanitizer right there.
Okay.
Ready? Let's go.
Okay, Grace, wait. This is Grace. She's going to show us around for Hip Salon. Okay? Where to start?
Okay, so we will start with our hair section.
Okay.
It's our hair suite.
So it's a different outfit for her.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So I will show you a single suite first.
Okay.
Which she specifically doing a scalp.
Professional scalp.
Service,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Hair scalp. Okay.
So right at this side, as you can see, she has her own basin.
Oh, okay.
And here is a double suite with a view. Hi guys.
Wow. Stop outside.
Okay. And I also show you also an exclusive interconnected suite.
It's a 4-seater suite, right?
It is. And you'll see a view. See? A breeze with a view. It is right here. Hi.
Hi. Oh yeah.
Okay. And we also have another interconnected suite, but this one is also another with a private basin,
Okay. Okay.
which belongs to Jay. I will show you. Jay, coming in.
Hello.
Hi, hello. Hi.
So this is another type
Yes,
of the suite,
it's 4-seaters as well, but there is a basin
but with the
here.
basin.
Yeah, private basin.
Okay. Just curious. The other three rooms, which we see, there's two rooms that have.
Yeah.
There's no basin. Why this one?
Oh, these are by request.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So they need customer. I mean, the tenant has the stylist can request
Yes,
to fix their own space
yes.
basin. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Alright, so right here is our waiting lounge. This is our first waiting lounge.
Okay. For
And
customer
along-
or for stylist
yes.
for wedding lounge. Okay.
Along the side is a coffee. We have a mini cafe.
Ah,
You can enjoy doing your hair with coffee and teas while
okay.
waiting as well.
Okay.
And at that side,
There's another waiting area.
yes.
Okay. So we
Another
have
waiting
two
lounge. We have,
two waiting areas.
yeah,
Okay.
we have
Okay.
two. We
Okay.
have two waiting lounge.
This is very spacious. So how big is this place anyway?
4,400 square feet.
And how many type of rooms or services that you have? The room,
The suite
This
that we
is-
have here is 20 suites.
20 suite. So
Yes.
you're talking about what kind of nails,
We have nails,
beauty, hair.
yeah, aesthetics, and hair.
I know that there's another eyelashes.
Eyelashes,
Which- The nail you're going to show us later, right?
yes.
Okay.
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 Okay,
Right
so
now?
now I will show you a midi suite.
Okay. The medicine spa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's, as you can see, it is interconnected. Now, right on the right hand side, it is 4 nails. Yeah, that's 4 nails
Okay.
by Tiffany.
Okay.
And
Small and complete, right?
yes, it
You
is.
should have your own privacy and everything.
Exclusive,
as well.
yes, exclusive, and you can indulge your private moment over there.
Okay. And this one, guys?
And right here is under Gwen Secreto.
Okay.
He is,
So then another hair suite.
yes, it is. He's doing hair. He is
Okay.
expressing his design through his artworks as well. So he's
Okay.
not only hair designer, he is also an artist with music on the side.
Yep.
And
Typewriter here.
yes, he does, and he does painting as well.
Okay, wait. I have one question. Okay. Take me, if I'm wrong, okay. This one, the fixture, the mirror and the chair, everything that you see fixed on the floor or on the wall
Yeah.
is actually provided by Hip Salon, right?
It is.
Except, I mean, all this that you can see exterior,
Yeah.
the cabinet and the typewriter, all these are actually brought in by the stylist itself.
Yes, they design their own suites.
So they actually, like, they mean all 20 rooms have a different type of the design because,
Yes.
oh, okay, wow, that's impressive, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I should check it out then.
Yeah, you can express your own way of doing
Okay.
it. So that's right.
Okay.
So on your side, Lisa, these
Oh, there's
are
another type.
yes, but it's a single suite. Along the side is single suite. This is under
This
hair.
is also for hair.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
So, but right now,
Looks like apparently they have customer, right?
yes. they
Okay,
have.
okay.
So
Cool.
I will show you our common basin area, like I've mentioned earlier. So this is our basin.
Oh, okay, okay. So we have 6 basins here.
Yes, which we implement social distancing.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a signage.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So with a view, with the plants and
Yeah,
everything.
very relaxing.
Yeah.
It
So
looks very comfy.
yeah, I try.
You what? Okay, cool. Wait. It's a cool weather
Yeah,
to
you can
relax.
like yeah. So you
Yeah,
feel
because it's heavy
comfortable.
raining outside.
Yeah, feel comfortable. You.
Wow.
How do you like it?
Oh, very comfy. I don't want to get up. It's your turn. Continue next. The place. Come, let's get up. Okay, okay. Thank you, Grace. Okay.
Right. So yeah, that's about it. That's a glimpse of our hip salons.
Wow.
Now,
Very impressive, actually. Spacious and impressive. I like this place.
yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
So, any things that you need to add up before we actually end this session?
Oh yeah. If you want to know more of our services, please go to our website. It's www.thehipsalons.com.
Yeah.
Or if you want to know more about our hairstylist work and artists, please go to our Instagram and
Okay.
Facebook page. Then you can see how the works are done.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Grace. Thanks for the time for showing us around. Okay.
You're welcome.
That's all for our tour, Hip Salon tour today. Okay, back to you. Back to studio.
Lisa, it looks like you're having your time of your life. Wow. We were talking to Vincent just now. It almost looks like it was a property viewing tour, right? Thank you, Lisa, for showing us around. What a beautiful place. It looks really huge. Now that we have learned a little bit better about Hip Salon, but we do not know what are the actual reason behind each design of this corner in Hip Salon. So why don't Vincent tell us more about that?
Okay, sure. The design is very deliberate and purposeful. So what we wanted to create is it's central around the theme sustainability. Sustainability because we want the careers of the beauty professionals to come in to have sustainability, and also we try our best to try to reduce carbon footprint when we can, do a little part for the planet. So when we look for the location, we found Menara Ken because one of the key things that made us decide on the location is the floor to ceiling windows. So it's like a 180 degrees, about 180 degrees, maybe a little bit more, of floor to ceiling windows.
Yeah.
So we use that the design incorporates a lot of the natural light, so that we use less electricity.
I love that as well.
Yeah, so that's one of the key things that we're very proud of. So, and also Menara Ken is a green building on its own. Other than that, we also engage a very prominent architect to come up with how does the space, how to turn this space into not just a working space but a living space as well. The design of the space. One key thing that we really want to incorporate inside is the customer experience. When I say the experience, actually there's also another part to it, the beauty professional experience. Because we want both of them to feel, the customer and the beauty professional, not to feel the common constraint of going to a typical hair or beauty salon.
What's the common constraint?
Okay, for example, if you go to a mall or a shop lot, usually you're faced with four walls.
Yes.
More or less, right? So you sit there and you have space between you and the next customer, but usually, also there are always VIP rooms, but more often than not, you are in a place where it's quite open. And you will sit there, and I know because I sit in salons all the time, to spend hours in the salon, you do it sometimes, most of the time out of necessity. Once in a while you do it because you want to stay there longer for no reason at all. I don't think many people want to do that. They do it because they want to be pampered, right?
Yeah.
But it's not because you want to sit in a chair and face the walls or the mirrors. But when it comes to the design of hip salons, I don't know whether we can show some
Yeah,
maybe.
I believe we do have. There you go.
Okay. I'll just start from here since this is the lounge that Grace was telling Lisa earlier. So can we move to the next slide? Maybe we can show the suite, some of the views. Okay, this is one where I call the city view. Trees there, but behind that is I think it's Jalan Burhanuddin Helmi and TDDI. So maybe if you compare this to a normal hair salon, you sit down and you don't have a wall behind the mirror.
Yes.
you have a view beyond the mirror.
Yeah, you're actually looking at a natural surrounding environment out there.
This suite is actually facing nature, so I call it the nature view or the mountain view. So when you sit there, sorry, can you just go back? Yeah. So the customer experience is that when you sit there, you feel like you it's a sense of freedom that that you are sitting inside a place where you have your views unobstructed.
Yeah.
So it is, like I said earlier, you don't want to sit in, not to say you don't want, but it's more difficult to sit in a place where you're constrained and in a close-up, cooped-up environment for hours on end, compared to, let's say, something like this where you have views beyond, the walls or the glass rather. So this is what I'm talking about, the customer experience part of it. And the other one is, of course, the tech is also very important. The technology that we could incorporate into the whole customer experience. Just let me walk you through a little bit of how simple and seamless the process of booking all the way to payment. So if I'm a customer and I want to book you, let's say a stylist, I will open the Hip Salons app. And if you don't have the app, just go to the website, thehipsalons.com, and go through booking. You don't have to download anything. And then you select, I'm a customer now. So I will select Edi, okay, stylist. I'll book a time, I'll book a slot. And then I'll get a QR code. And then I will go to Hip Salons, I'll check in. And Edi, the stylist, would know that I'm there because I checked in.
Yeah.
And so you come out and get me and say, hey, Vincent, here, come follow me to my suite. So I'll walk to your suite, I'll sit down, I book a haircut. Okay, now it's MCO time, so I can only do a haircut. But say we are not in MCO time, and you ask me to do consultation, and I want to add on service like a hair treatment or hair color, and you just key everything into your stylist app. You key everything in, and then once the whole process is done, you click checkout, and all this information is sent to the reception.
Now,
So
once you're there, are you able to add on any additional service?
Oh yes, as I mentioned, I only book a haircut, but you've sold me hair color and hair treatment as well. So you just do that and you key into the stylist app, and then when you check out, everything is sent to the reception. And then of course in the process between that, you can also press for you want a coffee for me, and you can just order from there, the app itself. And and when you're done, you click cleaning services. Then the cleaner will come and sweep the floor. You don't have to do anything. And toss a towel in the bin, because everything is provided for. Cleaning services, towel services, reception services. Like I said earlier, A to Z solutions. So you walk me to the reception or not if you're busy. If I'm a regular customer, you just say, hey, just, please just make a payment at the reception. I'll see you at the next appointment. I mean, yeah, you can do that. So I'll go there, and then the receptionist will already have all the details of my services, and I will make a payment. It's contactless. You can pay cash, of course.
Yeah.
And that's it. Everything's done.
And this sounds very smart to me because I believe you can actually trace back to the history of this customer.
Yeah. Yes.
So you know that what does he prefer?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the future. Because we have our own tech team. So we are implementing now customer history with photos. So what we want to do is like you just did a color for me that I like. You take a snapshot of how I look now, and you key in into the notes section that I've used this and this color. So next time when I come back, hey, Edi, I want to do that hair color on the 24th of May. When I came here, right now you probably be like, whoa, what do you do? But don't worry. Let me just pull out my app. Oh yeah, you did this color. I have a picture of it. So yeah, it's very empowering for the stylist because you no longer have to do your own customer CRM programs. You no longer have to do your own marketing. Although we advise you to do your own marketing because because of your own brand identity, but we do all that stuff for you. We provide the support. So Hip Salons, did I mention it's a hybrid model? Maybe we'll talk about it a little
Not
later.
yet.
Yeah. So we provide more than just space. It's not just a landlord-tenant relationship.
Yes.
So if you rent a space from us, we'll call you a member. And we call you a member because we want to differentiate and we want to put the message out clearly that you are not just a tenant where, you rent a space, here's a tenancy agreement, these are the list of things that you can do, and these are the things that you can't do, that's it. But we will provide you the back-end support as well.
Yep.
From, like mentioned, the services earlier, to accounting services, marketing support, education even.
Well, but what sort of services are currently available at your Hip Salon right now? We noticed there are of course hairdo, hair colors, all the chemical services, nails, makeup maybe.
Yes.
And what other things that is not mentioned earlier just now?
I don't know. Can you name something in the beauty industry that
what else can we expect from there?
Okay.
It looks like a cafe. Do we have any rather than those coffee and tea, of course, do you have any special beverage that we can request?
Not at the moment, but we have something coming up. My operations director is coming up with some very interesting dessert even, and yet to be launched. But now we have F&B. You can order whatever we don't have. We have in Menara Can. There's a cafe right across us where we can call them and they'll bring over.
I see.
So everything is very convenient. And why customers love it also because in a way, when the idea was conceived, COVID wasn't even around. But now, between conception and execution, COVID became a thing. So all these individual suites have built-in social distancing. So that's one of the reasons why we are so well received as well. And then the moment we open, we're already 80% full. We are not 95%
And by the time COVID-19 happened, it affected a lot of people in this industry. You are already ready to embrace the change, right?
Yes.
That is a good thing about it.
In a way, we were, I must say, by stroke of good fortune, we became true visionary in that sense. Because with COVID-19, when the industry reopened, the moment we can reopen, hip salons was launched, which was last year, sometime in July 15. People are like, hey, is COVID ready? I'm like, yeah, it's COVID ready.
It doesn't affect you. Well, maybe a little bit, minor.
Does it affect me, the business?
Yeah.
Well, to say no, it's definitely wrong. But I would say it affects our members less than traditional salon business model.
Yeah.
I would say definitely, because in terms of safety, in terms of adhering to SOPs, as I said, we have built in social distancing with our individual suites. So it's between you and the stylist. So if the two of you practice social distancing, then you don't have to worry about anyone else. You are in there, your stylist, you, or your beautician, your cosmetologist, or your new technician, and you. It's just the two of you. So yeah.
When was the salon open before the COVID-19? Like a year before or
No, we opened actually after July 15 last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But before that, this entire concept has been on planning for how long?
I would say the conception was, I first started having this idea about 2 years ago, almost 2 years by now. But I did not really pursue it. 2019, end of 2019, I think November was the time when I really went to look, and really want to put into execution and really just want to make it happen. And then by January, we signed the tenancy agreement with Menara Can, and then we're supposed to start renovation right after Chinese New Year, and then COVID happened. So it was delayed, but thankfully we still managed to finish the renovation in July, and we're able to launch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now tell us now about hybrid business model. For those who might be new to this term, what does it mean?
Okay. When I say co-sharing business model, the perception is that co-sharing means I rent you the space, and you pay me rent, and you do whatever. Not do whatever. I mean, within the confines of the tenancy agreement, right? So we find that in this industry, although we encourage independence, there needs to be a lot of support in the back end as well. So we provide all those things that I mentioned earlier, from marketing, back end support, administration. All this stuff are done by us, and sometimes some beauty professionals do not want them, and that's fine. But if you want them, you require them, like marketing support, for instance, is a good one. How to customer acquisition, for example, we do help. So we do all this stuff to help them, because the goal is to how do we let them flourish? How do we nurture them? We don't want them to just come in here and pay us rent. We want them to come here and grow. We want them to come here and flourish and be as successful as they can be. And therefore, the hybrid model is very important. And other than that, we also want to instill a culture of collaboration. Because when I'm not sure if you're aware, but if you are a stylist, which very creative people, working in a salon, more often than not, you are in a very competitive environment. You compete for customers, whether you like it or not. Sometimes it's healthy, sometimes it's not so healthy. So you're in a very competitive environment, and your natural tendency would be to compete with your colleagues. So when they come over to hip salons, we want to instill the culture of collaboration instead, to replace the culture of competition. Because what we notice is that when you're no longer working under one umbrella brand or working for someone, you take ownership of your own brand and your own identity. So you are able to, in some ways, let go a little bit of the ego and gravitate towards those that you feel maybe more knowledgeable or more experienced than you, and you might want to learn from them instead of compete with them. And what we discovered also, pleasantly surprised, is that the people with experience and with the knowledge in such an environment are more willing to share than they otherwise would, because they don't look at these other people as competition anymore. They just want to help them grow. And yeah, so it's very important for this culture to be instilled in this to be successful. So that's why we're not rushing to duplicate, the clone hip salons. Although we are expanding, which we'll talk about in a bit. But we are expanding, but we are not expanding as rapidly as we could, let's say, because I really don't want it to open and see how. I want to open and make sure it's successful. Like right now, it's successful. Conceptually, we have a proof of concept already, 95% full, less than a year in operation. I think that's a proof of concept. Yep.
Okay, so if I want to book a spot in hip salon, how advanced do I need to do that?
You have to put yourself on a wait list.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's how full it is now. Now, when speaking about customer experience, which is often the main element for most of the business to be success, right? Speaking about hip salon, I know that hip salon do have an event space as well. Now, this is definitely a very interesting thing. I didn't expect to have an event space at a salon. So can you tell us more about that?
Okay, it is not an event space per se, but because we built the space with so much versatility. As you can see from even our background picture, the lounge area is rather huge. I think it's over 1,000-something square feet. So we can move the furnitures around. We can just rearrange the placements, and we can have events there. For instance, we had past events. Uniqlo did their marketing presentation there, in-house presentation, and we had a cancer charity event. Where,
was this the campaign?
That's actually a friend of mine. A very courageous woman who shaved her head along with another charitable person. I'm not sure. I don't know him, I think. Okay. So they shaved their heads for charitable cause. And they raised quite a substantial amount of money for this purpose. So they used the space, and we're very proud to be a part of it. So yeah, it's versatile enough. We can do many things in there because there's a space for, I would say, the mid-size event. Yeah. About 50 packs comfortably. Yeah.
You can easily host any small product launch.
Oh yeah, Tresemme, for instance, did a media events there. So yeah, we would have more had it not for COVID. So there were a few events that were supposed to be held there, but it got postponed or cancelled because of obvious reasons.
But I believe events will be back very soon.
Yeah. I mean, we don't survive on that. I guess that is something that that you can use it if you so require it.
Now, such an interesting space that you have right there. How large it is in total, the entire space?
4,400 square feet.
Wow! At which floor of Menara Camp?
Upper ground.
Upper ground.
So we have our own dedicated entrance right next to a lobby.
Oh.
And then dropped off, let's say at the lobby.
Yeah.
And there's a entrance right next to the lobby. So you just walk up the stairs and we're there.
Oh, so that was the place where Lisa entered just now. It was from the outside, directly entered through a staircase, one floor up. It's your salon.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's very easy. And you have your parking space at Menara Camp as well.
Oh yeah.
Save the hassle.
Yeah, 500 over parking base, and now
TTDI area is
plenty of parking.
Yeah, it's going to be really difficult to open a shop along the TTDI, such a crowded shop lots opposite there. But this Menara Camp is such a convenient place. So now we're going to talk about the difference between a hybrid business model and all the other rent-to-share business model. Yeah. So what are the biggest differences?
I would say brand ownership as well as brand identity. Say again, I'm going to use you, Eddie the stylist. If you were to rent a chair at ABC Salon, you are working under the brand of ABC. Nobody's going to look at you as Eddie, but people will probably look at you as an employee of ABC. Or best case scenario, you are a freelance hairstylist. So there are limitations to being a freelancer in terms of how much you can charge. That's one of them. To maybe scheduling, you're pretty much at the mercy of ABC Salon's schedule. If they're full, then you won't have a time, you won't have a slot to cater to your customers, right? So, but at hip salons, you have a suite on your own.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just say that at this point, there is actually not much difference in terms of how much you would pay ABC Salon if you rent a chair, which is usually on a revenue share basis compared to what you would pay hip salons because of sharing economy.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Edi at hip salons, you can take ownership of your own brand and you can create your own brand, Edi at hip salons, because hip salons think of us like a mall. We are a beauty mall. When we promote hip salons, we promote you, Edi. We don't promote ourselves. We are just the facilitator.
Yeah.
Right?
Because people are going there to look for that particular hairstylist.
Yes. So
right?
you have a suite there, and one good example is one of the stylists in hip salons who with a brand called Keith & Co. So he is at Keith & Co. at hip salons. So hip salons look at it as a beauty mall, but people look at him as the owner, the brand owner of Keith & Co.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that you cannot achieve in rent a chair. And to be honest, it makes no sense to rent a chair where in an environment where you cannot control. So for long-term growth and sustainability of your career is very difficult because you're at the mercy of not just schedule, but even policies and house rules. You know, there are many things that there are a lot of limitations in the rent a chair format. I'm not saying, I'm not bagging it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm not disparaging it. I'm saying that it's very different, and people somehow this question get asked a lot. How are you different from rent a chair? So I'm just trying to explain what are the differences. So yeah, in a nutshell, you will be an stylist entrepreneur at hip salons, whereas you will be a freelance stylist at rent a chair.
So will it be more flexible for a hairstylist to plan their working days? Like if you're working at a salon, probably you only have like one day off, like which is fixed every single week. But at hip salon, do you have that flexibility?
Oh yeah, you control your own schedule. So hip salon is open 7 days a week. You have your stylist app where you can block out any dates that you don't want to work.
Wow.
So you block out, let's say you block out 3 days a week, up to you. Or you decide that tomorrow you need to go to the dentist, so you block out 2 hours every time. And then as your customer, when I check Edi, click on it, Edi, I always see that, oh, it's grayed out. That means you're not working, that's it. Or you're booked, it's the same. I can't tell whether you're booked or you're at the dentist.
Yeah.
So that way you have full control. This is again part of the empowerment because now you are in full control of your schedule. You can do what you want, when you want. And you come in whenever you want. So you are also very much more efficient than being in a salon for 10 hours where your actual working time is perhaps only 4 hours. And now because of the scheduling that's made possible by technology, you will just come in for that 4 hours that you're working, and the other 6 hours you'll be somewhere else doing your own thing.
Now here's another question. Now that you have everything in your app, are you able to rate the customer in terms of selecting your own customer as well?
What do you mean rate?
Like when you use Grab or things like that, you get to rate each other, right? Not just between not just from the customer to the driver, but the driver to the customer as well.
I'm not sure if that is relevant to the hair industry, but you know what? It's food for thought. I'll give you some thought. No, not at the moment for sure, Edi. We don't rate our customers. We rate it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, now speaking about expansion, currently this is your very first. If you were to expand to another one, which place are you looking at?
Penang. We already in the process actually about to start renovation again because of the complications of MCO. It's got a little bit delayed, but we have already secured our location. And we were supposed to start in July, but looking at the situation now, probably in August. So there will be our next expansion, and then after that we're going to go down south, I'm not gonna be specific where.
South is a
yeah,
big place.
South, and then after that South, and then we're gonna come back to Central.
Mm.
So yeah, we have our expansion plans actually all in place.
Yeah. So do you think that this is you know, a new innovation that other people should follow? Are you afraid of other people following and replicate the same concept of yours?
No, I mean the barrier of entry is not high, to be honest with you, in terms of creating a duplicate model of hip salons, which is essentially a co-sharing business model, right? I think anybody with money can do that, but the difficulty comes in the part where I mentioned is a hybrid business model, because I feel that you need to have a really thorough and in-depth understanding of how the minds of creative people work, so that you can set up a place that will encourage them and to nurture them and make them flourish in that place, and not just as I said, a landlord-tenant relationship. And I also think that these people, stylists, entrepreneurs, beauty professionals, it's very easy for them to tell whether you're genuine or not. If you open up the space and you with a pure intention of making money, I would say Malaysian beauty industry is not 100% ready for that yet. Because I give you an example. In the US, there's a co-sharing, there are plenty of co-sharing hair salons. And those kind of business model is straight up landlord-tenant relationship. And because the way Americans are, they're culturally very different from us. They don't want you to, they want you to be completely hands-off. You know, give me my space, I'll do my own thing. So in Malaysia, it's not like that yet. So this is where the hybrid model comes in. In fact, it's evolving. You know, we started as a hybrid, and now we are gradually progressing more towards a co-sharing already, slowly. So eventually we'll get there. So this is the part where, you know, it's not as simple as I find a space, I renovate nicely, and then I just ask stylists to come. You know, if they come and they don't flourish, the concept's gonna flop. So this is why we're being very careful with from location selection to renovation. How does it play a part? How does every little thing, everything has to contribute, every element has to contribute to the growth of the beauty professional inside hip salons.
What about the selection of the tenants?
Okay, good question. This is another part of that hybrid model thing that I'm talking about. And because we are not a traditional, or I would say we are not a co-sharing, straight up co-sharing business model. We don't just advertise, you come in, pay us, and we'll let you in. We actually curate the beauty professionals. I personally interview most of them. So what happens is we want to make sure that you not only come to hip salons, but you can also succeed. It's very important for us. One, because the cost of acquisition of new talents is high. And second, it's also a waste of time if somebody come in who we deem have a very low chance of success, and then 2 months, 3 months later they leave, and then we have to start over the process all over again. So what we wanted to do was to get it right the first time, and that's why we were only about 80%. I said only because, you know, we could have been 100% full at the beginning, because we got so many inquiries, so many interests that want to come in. But when I interview them, they do not have the right attributes or the elements or requirements. For instance, you need to have a very, very strong customer base, because you are taking the next step into entrepreneurship.
Yes.
In the real world, if you don't have a strong customer base, you wouldn't open your hair salon.
Yes.
Your own hair salon. It's the same thing with hip salons. If you don't have that, and if you come here, I ask you, what do you want to come here? And some of them answered me, oh, I just want to try. I said, sorry, this is not a place for you to try. It's a place for you to succeed.
Yes.
Do you have the right qualities to succeed here? Tell me about yourself. I actually interviewed them that way. And then I think at the beginning, some of them were taken aback a little bit, like, why are you interviewing me? You know, I want to rent a space from you. And so I let them know, no, you're not renting a space from me, or not just renting a space from me. I want to make sure that you succeed in this space.
And to make sure that you're not wasting that time as well, right?
Yes, each other's time, right? I mean, there are some that I'm very, you know, confident, or I've already known in the industry, and they come like, hey, I want to rent a space. I say, I know you, I know who you are, I know, come take a space, no interview needed.
Wow, that's very fun as well. Now, currently at Hip Salon, do you have your own? I mean, how big is your own team right now operating this Hip Salon? Do you have your own certain department handling this part and another part?
Yes, we have dedicated team. Consists of operations manager. We have business development director, operations director. Sorry. Then we have our marketing team, social media. We also use part of Kim Marie's admin team, and of course we have the accounts team. So I would say, and then you have me. I don't really. I'm the CEO, but I don't really have a specific role. I'm like, I have my hand in every cookie jar, so to speak. So yeah, it's not a very big team at the moment, but therefore we also leverage on Kim Marie's team. So collectively, we have about 20 people that we can. We have a tech team. Sorry, very important part of the equation. So we have our tech team where they're writing software and constantly trying to improve the technological part of hip salons.
All right. Now, basically, I think we have covered up all the necessary questions. Is there any other things that you would like to share with us? Maybe perhaps we have not asked before. Yeah. Any other thing?
I think we have covered everything, Eddie.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Now, looking at this main space behind, right? This is the first thing that you see when you first entered the staircase, right?
Yes.
So
the staircase behind you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So is this used as the workings? I mean the waiting area or something?
Yes. The chairs behind me is one of the waiting lounges, as we call it. And then there's actually another one in front of me. So you can't see here, but it's just in front, a few meters away. So there are two waiting areas.
I see. So everything is being assigned very properly. Like, hair is at this corner, at this entire area, all the rooms for hair, and the entire side is
not that way. When the members first came, so of course it's first come first serve. They have the privilege of the advantage of selecting which suite, we call them suite, that they want. So the early comers get better views.
Yeah.
And the design, the flow also is very important. As I mentioned, we got a very good architect to design this, not just the design. We got an architect because we wanted to make sure that the flow as well is adds to the customer experience. We don't want you to go left and then suddenly you have to make a U-turn to go somewhere else because it's just the flow is not there.
Yeah.
So we want you to go in and like be led somewhere where naturally you be walking that way, and then you enjoy the view, you see everything, and then you come back out and you just kind of like just adds to the experience. So again, the why we have two waiting lounges also is very deliberate. One is for customers with suites. Beauty professional with suites on the right side, and the other one for customers with suites on the left side. So each of them have their own waiting lounge.
Do you have any particular room for Muslim customers as well?
They all can cater to Muslim customers because private suites. So we have Malay stylists there. So yes, they do have Muslim customers, no issue. In fact, the one in Penang, we're gonna have a dedicated Muslimah salon there.
Wow.
Yeah, within hip salons.
Yeah. So very good to adapt to the change and the preference of the surrounding community, because TDDI is a mixed community, a lot of Malays and Chinese and Indians as well. So yeah, I think we have covered up all the necessary topics. Now, if you guys would like to know about Hip Salon, you can actually play back this video on www.beautyonlinetradeshow.com. And the last thing, do we actually know what does HIP, H-I-P, stands for? Do you want to tell us?
Yeah, of course. It's an acronym for Happy Independent People.
Wow, Happy Independent People.
That's what we try to cultivate. Happy Independent People.
Yep. And your look explained it all. Happy Independent Person.
Thank you. I hope so.
All right. So Hip Salon is actually the country's, Malaysia's first all-suite co-sharing salon for all beauty professionals who are interested in starting their own business, their own entrepreneurial journey with zero capital. So what they do is they provide very strong business foundation, technological and marketing support as well. as a great working and living space for them to succeed. Now, like what we mentioned just now, this is not a place for you to learn, but to succeed. Now, they are the next level that almost have all the beauty professionals which aspire to be their own boss. This is the place where you can, the best place to be at. They provide the quickest and the most cost-efficient solution for them, not only to get there, but to stay and to thrive as well. So at Hip Salon, all you need to do is to let your artistry flare out, and they will take care of the rest for you. Now, this is such a perfect place to start your own business. So if you want to be like a happy independent people members, check them out today. So that's all for today. Thank you for joining us today, Vincent. It was really nice.
Pleasure.
Yeah, knowing your knowledge and your story as well. So we hope to hear from you maybe some other time in the future.